People want to know, how is it that we could hit an all-girls school in Iran, but also be so accurate that we could take out the Ayatollah? The confusion about this is based on some myths about American military capabilities. My name is Chris Goldsmith, former United States Army Sergeant, and I was a forward observer. My job was to be the so-called eyes of the artillery, the person pointing the laser or calling in the grid square, the exact location down to the meter of a target. As a forward observer, I was trained to point a laser and, radio to either attack aviation or close air support, meaning helicopters or aircraft, or I'd be talking to more traditional artillery like mortars or cannons. Basically anything that doesn't come out of a barrel and go straight, like a rifle, that's called indirect fire. And in the age of GPS and high definition cameras and drones and satellites, people believe that if we point a laser at something, that the missile is going to hit it. The vast majority of the time, that is what happens. But there are multiple points of failure that are possible for any munition and any mission. So I, as the forward observer, am pointing the laser. There could be user error or there could be equipment error. I call up for the mission to the FDC, the Fire Direction Control. They're basically the nerds, the middlemen with the computers. And then they radio that mission to the guns or to the aircraft so that they can adjust their weapon system to point at the target that I am identifying. So you have user and equipment error and communications error between myself, the Fire Direction Control, and the person actually pulling the trigger. Now, the munition themselves, a fin could be damaged, or there could be a sudden gust of wind. Or in the case of a country like Iran being attacked, they have advanced defense systems where they're shooting a missile at a moving missile. Both of these items are moving at hundreds of miles an hour. And when a defense system hits a missile that's inbound, it doesn't always destroy everything in the air. Sometimes it just knocks it off course. Other times it will effectively destroy the engine on the incoming missile, and what's left will just fall from the sky with the warhead. Those defensive missiles can also turn around mid-air, try to basically chase the inbound missile, and then end up hitting the ground. So did we, or did the Israelis, intentionally target an all-girls school in Iran? I don't think there's any evidence of that. But when Trump and Bibi launched this illegal war, they decided that these kinds of civilian casualties, this collateral damage in the terms of dozens and what will probably be hundreds of lives, if not thousands of lives, that those were an acceptable cost for the Iranian people to pay. And while the Trump administration and Netanyahu are trying to present this as like a clean war, there's no such thing as a clean war. It's not just the enemy, it's not just the soldiers who end up getting killed. Trump has already committed to at least a week of ongoing massive strikes. That means that he has committed to at least a week of civilian casualties. And we use these terms like civilian casualties and collateral damage in the West to distance ourselves from responsibility of the deaths of human beings, in this case, little girls going to school in Iran. But we should remember that on the receiving end, it's just murder. So while in the minds of MAGA and Trump, this is just a short war that we're just going to win with an air campaign, they are failing to consider or accept as reality that there are multi-generational, multi-decade effects of a mission like this. Anytime that anyone presses the button or pulls the trigger and fires a weapon system, there's an opportunity for innocent people to get killed. The idea of a surgical strike weapon is possible, but that's in the best of circumstances. That's when nothing goes wrong. This is real life. It's not a video game, and not every round hits its intended target.